welcome to another Daily Digest video. I am Merriam, and today I am back on a little bit of Standard. I'm playing white-black tokens. I think people are pretty familiar now with Sam Black's Abzan tokens list, and I've seen some other hidden stockpile decks really, which is what they are, floating around. This one is interesting because it's really removal heavy. It's almost like a control deck, even though it has Secret Cats and Thraben Inspectors. You're using the token element, the hidden stockpile and anointed procession to gain value, with a ton of removal to back it up, and even has a lot of copies of Fumigate. So I'm interested in this different strategic take on the deck, and we'll see how it goes. As for this hand, it is not good with only one land, even though it does have some one-mana plays. I'm on the play. I think I have to mulligan this. If I was on the draw and the land entered untapped, then I would have considered it, but without either of those, it's a mulligan. So we have a procession here in this hand without any token makers, which is awkward, but we have a bunch of removal to buy us time, so I think I'll keep this on 6, and definitely don't want another procession at this point. Looking to get some lands and some token makers, and then we'll get our engine up and running after we kill all of our opponent's stuff. Maybe not kill their stuff if they start on Prairie Stream. This could be a control deck, which would make our removal heavy hand pretty bad. And we will see. Yeah, this looks like a control deck. Not great for us. Not great at all. Well, we're going to need a little bit of help with this hand, and I'm going to look forward to siding into a very different configuration. Could play the procession here, but it is very likely just going to get dissolved, and I'd rather just pass this turn, have them not use their mana, and then start casting things next turn when they want to cast Glimmers and Hieroglyphic Illuminations. The presence of Supreme Will can punish you for a play like that, but I still think it's the best way to sequence against these decks, something I've been doing for many months now. Does this resolve? Yeah, okay. Might get cast out. I also have a Sacred Cat. Baited. Okay, no cast out. Just no interaction at all. Very happy about that, turning my Sacred Cat into 2 clues, but my opponent didn't really expect that. Let's start by cracking one. Probably going to end up playing this Thraben Inspector, but now that we've drawn a million extra cards, I'm feeling a little bit better. 2 more clues. Yeah. Actually, maybe I should just crack one now. Sure. Might draw an Inspector or a Cat. No, just a land. So now, our hand is still not good, and we could be getting Gearhulked here. Let's do the old Gearhulk check. Good chance they just even wait to end step to play it anyway, in case they want to counter something I play. So let's start with cracking Clue. And let's crack another Clue. Nixless is a good one. Hope that resolves. And I'll play this Concealed Courtyard. And now we have the same number of cards in hand as them. Same number of lands, but we have Procession and Inspector. Ooh, pull. Okay, well, that's not good. Now they have pulled back to even on cards, and our hand is pretty bad with 2 lands and 3 removal spells. Maybe this Thraben Inspector can go all the way. See if they have something main phase here. Well, main phase that will get their hand size down to 7. Otherwise, we might just see them discard a land. 3, 6, I have 7 mana in play. Once I get to 9, I can attack with Vent and play Ob Nixless. I really don't want to just send Obnixilis into a counterspell. Yeah, they just discarded Commit. Jeez. So their hand is flush with a gas. I don't want to play the Obnixilis. I want to try to bait them at least a little bit. Fumigate was a pretty horrible draw. Plus, I can just start making Abbey tokens, which is actually pretty good. Because I get 2 of them at a time. Fortunately, because they're white, they probably have a bunch of good answers to Ormondal. So I don't even think I'll make an Ormondal unless it immediately kills them and they're tapped out. I'll just keep making 2 1/1s on every end step. Which might be pretty potent. Oh no, okay, so they have the cast out for Procession. And they have, okay, they just wanted to wait till they could leave up counterspell mana beyond it. Let's pop this Evolving Wilds. Sure, I'll get a Swamp. Something I can bait them with. Hidden Stockpile, that might get them. Although without Procession, it's not super powerful. So let's mush. Get you down to 16. Let's play a Stockpile. I have 1, 2, 3. I have exactly enough mana to be able to use it and use Abbey, so let's pay 1. Sacrifice this thing. Scry 1. I don't think Sacred Cat is good. I'm looking for like a Gideon, something else that can really force a counterspell. We don't have an instant speed answer to Gearhulk, which is awkward, but it eating a token is also not a big deal. Bam. Mush for 3. Putting up a decent fight for a hand that started with a bunch of removal that we haven't found use for. I probably just sack the Servo because I don't want to. I want to spread out what types my tokens are in case I have more Deccan Stones. Let's bottom that. Play this land. They're 13. Like they're under some pressure here. Would not be surprised to see a Gearhulk. Oh, jeez. Come on. Why are you going to do me like that? So I have enough mana to sack 2 of them, which is what I want to do. So engulf the shores. I guess I should have noticed that they're just splashing white, but I don't know. That's a rough one. So we have enough mana to still activate Abbey after this. We'll get to draw another card with Raven Inspector. And hitting all these lands, maybe our next draws might be good after scrying a bunch of cards to the bottom, but we still have a bunch of stuff. Like we might be able to, we can have an answer to at least 1 Gearhulk, and a second Gearhulk with Fumigate, so I think it's going to be tough for them to pressure us. Unless they're, this could just be an approach deck. Approach, we're going to have a hard time beating. No doubt about that. Ooh, there's a Gideon. I have 5, 6, 10 mana. Just enough to play Inspector, Gideon, and Obnixilis. So let's mush for 1. Let's play Raven Inspector, see if they bite. It's a good chance they just have 2 counterspells for our things, but I don't know. I think I have to. I'm not going to just not cast my stuff. So let's cast our stuff. I think Obnixilis is better than Gideon, so I'm going to lead with that one. Interesting. So they have another cast out. If they don't have a counterspell, I'm just going to try to run this Obnixilis into play now. Okay. Well, I like all of my stuff resolving. That's good. You can go. What do you have? You're just killing me with approach? They have 10 mana, it costs 7, so you're 4 mana away from just casting 2. And you could just cast one now, it's going to be tough for me to kill you. Fumigate is pretty good, but not great. Let's draw a card. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Before I decide what to do with Gideon, let's play an Anointed Procession. Let's pop this clue. Oh, let's play another Anointed Procession. And let's make 3 2/2s. So I have lethal next turn because I'm going to get 3 1/1s as well. I have 4. Oh, they're not linear. It grows geometrically. Okay, well that's great. So I get 4 1/1s. So that's already 12. So I have 5 more with Gideon. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, get to draw 2 cards. They could just engulf me again. So certainly no guarantees, but I have a lot of things that they have to deal with between Hidden Stockpile and Gideon and Omnixilus and these processions. I can always turn on Stockpile and okay, they just have a bunch of Fumigates. Sure. I'm about to ultimate Omnixilus. Let's draw a card. Do I want to play these Anointer Priests? Sure. I mean, they could just get swept up in a third Fumigate, but then I can just embalm them. So they only come back bigger and better. That's 0. Get to gain a bunch of life. And really all I'm worried about is approach, which is likely what their win condition is. So we're certainly not out of the woods. I'm gonna sack a Night Ally, I guess. Yeah, another Gideon sounds good. Now I'll gain another 8 life. 4 1/1s, and then I'll have 12. I still sad. But why are you doing this with the trigger on the stack if you're gonna engulf, which is what I think they're doing? So how to commit their targeting? Okay. It's probably committing the Obnixilus, being afraid of the emblem. Seems good if they have another Fumigate. Oh, they're casting Memory, which I guess they can do. Well, that's pretty cool. Do I now Anguished Unmaking? No. I think I can save the Unmaking. See what their memory gets them. I just want to leave the Abbey untapped. Sure, that's an Anticipate. Probably just digging for approach, so I'm going to try to turn the corner pretty quickly. Okay. Might want to unmaking that, actually. See how they scry on this. If it's a card they want, they scry to the bottom. Okay, that's a good sign. Is this a Fumigate? Cast out. So we're cast outing the Obnixilus. So now I can unmaking that with the trigger on the stack and be able to ultimate the Obnixilis. That seems good. Is that good? Do I even need the Obnixilis? They're 23. If I just make 4 1/1s on end step with the Abbey, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I can activate all 3 vents and emblem the Gideon. So I'll have 4. So I'll have 8 2/2s, some 2 4s. That's 20. That's 29. Yeah, that's 30 million damage. Sure. You can have my Obnixilis. I'm just gonna Anguish on making the Spear Hulk. Oh, I guess I have to use this. Okay, we're doing it. We figured it out. I guess I don't even have to Anguish on making it. Yeah, let's emblem and activate and activate and activate. Attack with all creatures at you. Is that good? Take a bajillion. And we did it. Well, that was pretty cool. I did not think we were going to be in good shape given our opening hand, but our opponent just didn't have counter spells. So we resolved all of our sweet things. And they're going to try to beat us with removal. All these planeswalkers and stockpiles and processions are incredible against that. So how are we sideboarding this matchup? As far as the removal we want for their stuff, Cast Out seems good. This is great against Fumigate. Dream Stealer has to be great. Why? What is this card doing? I just get to draw a bunch of cards. Is that good? The Fumigates are very bad. The pushes are very bad. So at this point, I have Grasp and 1 Declaration in hand, or in my deck, in order to answer things. Wouldn't be surprised to see them have Thing in the Ice, as a lot of blue decks do. So I kind of want to leave in Grasp. It is not great at dealing with Gearhulk in this deck because most of our creatures are so small. But I think it's better than Declaration still. Do we want Vampiric Rites? Does seem pretty good at grinding them out, but we're already pretty good at that. I don't really see why we would need more of it. I guess we have an Unmaking as another removal spell, and these cast outs. So we actually have a good number of removal spells. I think I should just cut this. Oh, there's another Unmaking here. Well, I definitely want that. So I think I'll cut a Grasp, actually, and try the rights. I think 6 removal spells is a pretty good number. Yeah, the sideboard now is literally all removal, so 6 is the absolute minimum I could have. But I think 6 is a good number. And now, I like our matchup in the post-board games, although Approach still scares me, because we are a very grindy deck. But we do have the capability of putting on some pressure. So fine, 7. We don't have a way to turn on this stockpile yet, but we'll find one. And once we do, the hand is quite good. Hopefully we can just find like a 3-bit Inspector for turn 3. Even an Evolving Wilds would be fine. And stockpile. No negate. Once again, I was going to say I was not going to play a spell, but if they want to counter this one, I'm pretty happy about it. This is a creature that would let me start stockpiling if I wanted to, so I'm considering playing an untapped land, but no, if they want to They won't like tap out to kill my Anoint Your Priest and resolve Gideon. That is really good for me. Smush for 1. Do I play Gideon here? I don't think I need to play it into a counter spell. I think what I can do is play Sacred Cat, scry with the stockpile, and get a 1/1, and then maybe embalm the cat and entice them to fumigate me so I can Gideon. Because then I still have an embalmer, so I'm not even losing that much value to a fumigate. Let's sack this. Scry 1. Definitely don't want another land. And embalm. Possible I should save the embalm in case I draw a procession later, but deck has so many ways to generate tokens that I'm not concerned about that. Okay, they do get to draw fire off an illumination, which is good for them. That was the one downside of me not playing Gideon, but with this Avacyn, I like the idea of pressuring them, playing the Avacyn on end step, and then untapping into Gideon. That's interesting. Well, smush for 3. They do not have second white for Fumigate, which is also kind of interesting. I guess they could have Engulf. That is a thing. But I'm just going to continue with my plan. Pull for 3. Okay, well, I've taken some turns off and sort of allowed them to make land drops and draw some cards, which is not great. And they just discarded an Engulf to that pull. Man. I would love it if they try to fumigate me and I blow them out with Avacyn. I'm untap and play Gideon. Oh yes. Oh, that's what's happening. They just really wanted that 3 life. Instead they get nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, that was great. So let's mush them for 7. And now I can play Gideon, make a 2/2, pop Evolving Wilds. That will turn on Revolt for the stockpile. If they have another Fumigate, I mean, good job. But they absolutely do need one. They could Gear Hulk into Engulf too. Maybe I'm just not so. I probably just don't need to get this extra 1/1. And if they have Fumigate, having an untapped land lets me sack more things in response, get more scries, and limit their life. So, yeah, let's just play the untapped land. And then I'll use this to recover if they do have a Fumigate here. So even if they have the Fumigate, they'll only gain 3. They'll go to 12. I'll be able to untap and attack them for 7 with Gideon and Vent, and then pop Wild and get another token. They'll be at 5. I'll have 8 power in play. 2 non-creature permanents, an answer to anything in my hand, and a bomb creature in the graveyard. We are looking good. What if they have approach into approach? I mean, they're just dead if they try to approach, right? Yeah. I have 4, 5, 9, 11, an attack for 16 next turn. And I could flip my Avacyn. They do not have Delirium, but that is another good sweeper. Definitely want to sacrifice this one so that it gets into my graveyard. Definitely don't want to land. And then I guess I can sack the Avacyn. I don't think I have a way to bring it back, but do I want another Gideon? I don't think so. Good job. Yes, Avison, transform, please. If I could deal them 3, that would be great. Well, this is pretty awkward because I can't play the stockpile and attack with event. So is it more important for me to get a 1/1 token or to deal them 2? I actually think the 2 is more important because that makes this event lethal. Whereas like getting them to 4, the totality of what I have is outside of Gideon is still lethal, but I think having the vent be a lethal attacker is pretty nice. So let's do it. Get a swamp. Plus my Gideon. So now they're going to be a 2. And we'll see what they have. Once again, covered under approach. Could have cast out for Gideon. Plus some other interaction. We're definitely not out of the woods yet. Okay. When did they cast the spell? Has cast this. When did that happen? Was there a turn where they just cast approach and I'm... Okay, it's just saying he's cast it because it was already on the stack. Okay. Oh, it's gained 7 life? Oh no. I'm 1 short. Oh jeez. Oh no. I thought it was gained 5 for some reason. Just in my head. Oh man. What can I draw? Hmm. So they... Hmm. Do I want to scry with stockpile? That's what I'm thinking about. What can I draw? I'm assuming they have another one in their hand. I don't have another Avison. I don't have anything with haste. Another Gideon doesn't do it. Man, we had basically everything covered, and I just forgot approach was gain 7. It's all 7s. I guess because we can't kill them, we might as well just do what we can and hope they don't have another copy. But that is a tilt. And we had everything covered. If only we had a second black source, we would have actually been covered. But looks like we are going to lose an almost unlosable game to 1 point of damage. Blew out their Fumigate too. Sacrifice this. So close, so close. I can't imagine they would have... Ooh, they're cycling. Maybe they don't have it. Maybe they don't have it. Is that good? I don't think so. But let's make some 1/1s. If they don't have it, then we should have them covered. We've got 2 removal spells, 4 lethal attackers. Wow, they're moving quickly. Maybe they were looking for like another land drop if they have a negate or if they have dispel or something, some weird corner case, or they were just cycling to throw me off, but or they ripped the approach, who knows. So they don't have any hand disruption, which is weak to approach, but what are you going to do? I like our configuration. We're just going to have to make sure I remember approach gain 7 and not 5. This hand is quite good. We've got a strong curve. We're going into Gideon. We have an answer to a Fumigate. They have a lot of sweepers, though. So, do I play the tapped land on turn 1? Probably not. I can just go Inspector, Anointer Priest, Pop Clue, play Event, and then turn 4 Gideon. So, let's do that. So close. Making is a fine draw. Have an answer to a Planeswalker or a Cast Out. A Torrential Gearhulk. Beginning to think that they just don't have a lot of counter spells in their deck. We really haven't seen any, so I should probably stop playing around them. Definitely jamming Gideon next turn. And we'll see what they have. Yeah, I could have been more aggressive that game, probably won it. Looks like they're just playing a bunch of removal in end approach. That's their plan. We played really conservatively both games, and I guess only gotten punished for once. But no more. Now it's all beat downs all the time. Guess what time it is? Beat down o'clock. Getcha. Take 2. Gideon. This is where it gets countered. Oh, come on, don't do me like that. There we go. Make it into 2/2. Gain a life. Just how we like it. Ooh, the old 1-point pull. Discarding Fumigate. They must need a land real bad. Real bad. Well, they hit one. Unsurprisingly, it enters tapped. I'm assuming they have no more lands. Kind of a weird deck in stone, but okay. Ooh, the old Dream Stealer. The Dream Police. They come to me in my bed. Smush for 7. I guess I should put lethal onto the battlefield. This might get wrathed. But they don't have another land in their hand. Probably cycling this Cast Out to try to find land 5 for Avacyn. Probably should have cycled it on my turn in case that land enters tapped. They have 3 islands for Engulf, so it's not going to bounce Gideon, so I can activate Gideon easily. So let's plus Gideon and see if you have the Engulf. They have Cast Out, and that is not good enough. So with this Cast Out trigger on the stack, we can unmaking it, and that will be that. Thank you, new templating. Attack with all my creatures. Discard a card, please. No, they don't even discard the card. They're dead with the trigger on the stack. So got aggressive there and worked against a bit of a stumble from our opponent. If they'd hit land 5 and got to Fumigate, things could have been different, but probably was being too conservative in the first 2 games. But the deck is very, very good at powering through sweepers. You definitely want to put this deck on a clock. You want to have answers to its non-creature permanents. And even though this deck has Cast Outs, it does have those answers in high numbers. There's just so many different non-creature permanents you have to deal with between Anointed Procession, Hidden Stockpile, Gideon, Obnixilis. That's 13 right there in the deck. So very difficult. It has lands that do stuff. And if you don't put it under a clock, they eventually assemble what they need. So hope you enjoyed that one, and you can come back and see me on Friday. Bye.